to see if Riven still gets stolen away if there's that much sort of respect given to Chris. The Caitlyn is going to be banned away, and the Mundo, interesting, by VVV White. So they're dropping away a lot of options here.
Yeah, they're under the impression that Mundo's is way too good right now, as a lot of people are. But same old strategy for COG, pulling away the Riven. I feel like the Riven itself didn't have a huge impact on the game.
No.
But taking it away from Chris is always a good thing. I mean,
yeah,
that might have a bigger impact that we're not seeing and we're not able to actually measure because
sure,
don't get to see him in action.
We see what he does with this one. Of course, Elise being hovered over, that could be Get Snuggled, but it still could be Chris. And I feel like Riven's a low sustain lane, and if you're really good with Valor, you're maybe okay against the Elise harass, but that could be a volatile lane. They go back for Lucian here. The Elise is locked in. I want to see where she goes. I want to say Zemfira. There's a challenger mid laner, I forget who it is, who plays a lot of mid Elise. I think it's Arthalon. Yeah. But there's a couple of like mid Elise players out there too.
You could call out whatever champion you want, and like Arthalon's probably played it
That's
just to see what he can get away with.
I played with his Jungleheimer once.
Yeah.
He won the game for us actually, so I can't hate. Please.
I'm actually a fan of his Poppy.
I hate Poppy.
Arthalon's Poppy's pretty good.
I mean, it's good, but I hate Poppy. As
Why?
an AD carry, I have nothing I can do against a champion. Right. I just die, and I'm just sad every time.
As long as you get through the early game, she's extremely annoying for the opposing team. Yep. And this is a very likely lock-in, by the way. Malzahar, we caught it at the beginning, hoping to see it here. Just toying with our hearts, I guess.
We'll see. You might switch again at 5 seconds. See what he goes for. This guy by the name of Open who plays top lane. Actually, he'll play pretty much any role, Poppy. But he's around Mighty Elo and he's like low diamond 1, and he's just like, he's not fun to play against.
You know it's him whenever you see that.
Yeah, when you see the Poppy
on the other team.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, see if we can do this one. He runs lifesteal Quints, just so we can auto-attack and stay in lane. Poppy actually fights reasonably well in top lane.
Bane lock-in. We have not seen this go down yet.
No.
If you do not focus this lane, we've seen, how swingy the AD carry lanes can be. I think they're definitely going to have to help her out early if they don't go for some weird switching game that we haven't seen quite as much of with the changes to the turrets.
The weird thing is, like, I feel like Vayne's a slow turret pusher though, and if COG does go for a swap to dodge the 2v2, if they go for a weak duo lane, they're gonna lose turret pressure and dragon pressure.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what you give up is one of the early dragons if you want to take an AD carry that you're not confident with. So the intention of the change with the turrets was not to invalidate 2vs1 switches. It's to put a cost on it. So you have to have a very good reason if you want to do this change. Yeah. And we've seen so many teams still go with it.
Yeah.
So
works out. And in the case of Jinx lanes, I guess they just push fast enough. We saw Curse use that to really good effect. That was actually fun to watch.
And Dig. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Curse one was just beautiful.
Curse was exciting. I like that one. Yeah. Here we go. Alistair coming back here for Batosai. Olaf picked up as well. And again, I don't know if that's mid or top. Like, and both these players can play that champion. It's one of Chris's most played.
These summoners could give you a little hint.
Okay, so Ghost Elise. No. Okay, so top Olaf, jungle Elise most likely here for VVV White. Cognitive now looking at their most likely jungler and support pickup here. He hovered Blitzcrank before, didn't go for it. Thresh still available. Actually, everything's still available except for Alistair.
Right now, I'm feeling like Cognitive are going to have some hard lanes except for mid lane if they do stick with those champions. So they're not going to stick with those champions.
Ooh.
And they lock in another mid laner. They do pull out the switch. Because if they had stayed with those champions, like Riven, the new Riven into Olaf has a pretty hard time because it's so hard to dodge the Olaf damage with your shield since it's melee damage, and he's going to be instantly putting that true damage on you. There's not a lot of time. You have to have really quick reaction to be able to shield as soon as he raises his arms. For the
it's close to impossible.
Yeah, it's really unless you're predicting that he's going to go for it at that time, then it's extremely difficult. So adding in another melee AD carry means there's no beef on this team. Since Vi's going to be coming from the jungle, she'll take a long time to get to that tanky point. They're really just going to rely on Zamfira's ult on one of these guys. They're just pretty much going offense. They're like, yes, we'll get a Vi ult or a Zamfira ult or maybe a Condemn. One of those things is going to set off this Yasuo and we're going to chain kill somebody. Somebody's going to be out of the fight really quick.
But with an Alistair in there, that seems just so difficult. We'll see what happens. I believe in the power of Cognitive. They did a really good job in Game 1. See what they can do with this one. Of course, Lulu most likely going to support here. We'll see where this all runs. But VVV White are going to go back to Orianna here for Microlatios. Didn't have a great impact with it in Game 1. Got very much out-rotated. But we'll see where this goes with.
And he's going to pretty much be having to set up his own shockwaves here. I mean, Olaf can ghost and run in there pretty quick, but it's not like a surprise delivery system. Elise you could also opt for with the repel, but it's also kind of iffy there. So I think, you know, he's going to be setting up more of his own shockwaves this time around. And we'll have to see if they can actually, you know, use Alistar to combo with that, keep people in one place for long enough.
See if they can get it. So we are here, top lane Riven versus Olaf. New matchup here. Vi down picked up by Cognitive because Elise was already grabbed there. Gets going to get on a new jungler this time around. Very good early game jungler. I got to say, Elise, scarier than Vi pre-6. And both games we've kind of seen determined by early jungle pressure. That scares me if I'm a Cognitive fan.
Yeah, Get Snuggled had a pretty good game on Vi, as we said before. So this time around, we'll have to see if those ults are used on cooldown again and he hits the first 3 of them in a row. I mean, there was just no coming back after he got that early lead for his lanes. The lanes are a bit flimsy this time, though.
Yeah.
For COG.
Yeah, so Vayne Lulu. You have Lulu for the pushing, so you can kind of keep your lane a bit safer, because if you're pushing, you're not going to lose CS very much. So Lulu covers that, whereas Alistar, Alistar can set up kills. So I know Doublelift talks about Vayne versus Alistar some. You can actually completely outplay it, because condemn range is short enough that if you keep saying, I want to condemn, then backing off, and I want to condemn, then back off.
Which is just spamming the spell over the champion and then right-clicking to cancel.
Yeah, just over and over, right-click E, right-click E, right-click E. When he goes in for the headbutt, you'll knock him back before the pulverize lands. I forget if it comes in fast enough to cancel the headbutt. I believe you get headbutted to safety, get away the pulverize, and just are safe.
Yeah, we did see a lot of random pulverizes into the ground just by themselves anyway, so he might not even have to do that. But again, another look at an invade here from VVV White. Zanking's got to be paying attention.
All right, Olaf Q's going to land. Zanking flashes. Nice flash. I was expecting to see that at some point.
That was beautiful. He didn't even have vision. So he was expecting the flash in from Alistar. And he preempted it. So a trade in flashes, pretty much as good as that could come out.
I feel like he would have died if he hadn't flashed the Q.
He definitely would have.
That was just nice. But this is cool. Zemfira is serenading us.
Yeah, just give him a moment here. I'm trying to listen to this song. Is that flute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely a woodwind.
I'm a fan. Yasuo's got some skills. So the early invade didn't turn out as expected, but really well played by Zanking. Just early flashing. A lot of people get themselves into trouble by trying to hold onto their summoners because even though nowadays First Blood is worth a lot less than it was before, and people would rather have their summoners sometimes than the First Blood money, he was able to trade summoners anyway, so it's a perfectly even trade. Worked out really well.
Gotta say, nice plays overall. Cognitive gonna start up with the blue buff here. Richie Rich helping out Admiral Ziploc. He's gonna be pretty happy with this one. Gets blue buff, doesn't even spend mana on the first clear. He got a passive at level 1. But whatever. Gonna have the mana regen with quota reduction that he can't use yet.
Chris, this is a classic solo queue move. Okay, let's take a look at this fight down bottom first.
A lot of early damage. Nothing here really got chunked out, but is otherwise okay here.
Anyway, the move that Chris was doing up top there, waiting in the small bush of the river, expecting Richie Rich to help his jungler at blue and then come up the river, which is the slightly faster way. Olaf definitely has early advantage, so he was looking to get that early fight going, level 1, down in the bush. But Richie Rich went the safe way. Good call by him, and he didn't have to run into that situation.
He's going to be okay in this one. Let's see these guys who are coming back, trading blows. Get Snuggled, going to grab his red buff there. Going to be a similar situation for Admiral Ziploc. A bit slower clear for the Vi, but I think all in all he'll be all right. Get Snuggled looking nowhere in particular, maybe towards the mid lane, maybe just the Wraiths. Not fighting any ganks just yet. Level 2 now for the bottom lanes. Nothing here. Did use his potion already to get back to full health, but Headbutt Pulverize now available for Alistar.
But no flash.
True.
So
and no condemn yet for Vayne. Learned Silver Bolts it too.
So the old counter building up isn't available yet. Jungle is going to come in first probably from Elise, because as you said, you know, Vi likes to farm a little bit more, try and get to that level 6, especially when you're going against an Elise. If you're running into Elise as Vi, the only time you're going to win is if you see her before she sees you, so that you can like get a Vault Breaker off from a bush or something like that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, her early level combat is just superior to Vi. Like pretty much early Vi, you have to land your Vault Breaker or else you're going to get dumpstered.
Let's see if Ziploc then can make it to 6 without any incident. Keep track of that one. Nothing here. Now level 3. These guys are trading.
Now, the pings up top were really interesting. They called out the ward from Chris in that bush, so Vi jumped the Baron Pit wall here with his Vault Breaker, and now he's waiting for the cooldown to come back up so that he can actually land one onto Chris.
Let's see if they can get it. Ghost Burn, Chris trying to juke. Can he get away? No! Gets knocked back, stunned up right there. This is not good for Chris. One more attack to go. First blood picked up there, Richie Rich.
That was a...
some good moves.
That was some bad moves. Those were not good moves. He was right in front of Vi. Just basically by doing that, you're letting Vi charge up more damage on her Vault Breaker here.
Gets snuggled, looking for someone to party with. Zane King, good son of nothing here. But they have the damage though. There's the repel. One more Q, Zine King. Serious. Forced to flash, but Frost Delicious taking damage. Nothing here. Be careful. Okay.
Not
gonna die.
The cannon minion though, working on Elise.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of health bar lost there. Who did not have repel, would have had to flash to get away.
Okay, so successful ganks by both junglers. This time, the bottom focus was again from VVV White. Get snuggled, trying to get down there. Even though it was successful, it was a bit later. So first blood money went up top, and this time, Chris is on the receiving end. So we'll see what Richie Rich can do with this instead.
This is scary. Batosai has flash now. It just came back up. Zine King should tell him, but no. Barrier used, knocked back away. This is not good. Nothing here goes down. Should have known.
Timing those flashes. You really got to make a habit of that, even in the early game. Like, especially in the early game. Before minions have spawned, you have nothing else to think about except we need to time this Alistar flash.
Well, you know what's convenient? Zine King has it timed. It's his own flash cooldown. He'd be like, by the way, flash is up.
That's why
let him know.
They really should have done that. I don't know. Maybe Batosai is a bit deeper in utility.
They were pretty similarly timed.
I'm trying to give him an out.
No, you got nothing. I'm sorry. I appreciate the thought, but I just feel like being indignant about this one. Alistar taking him down. Of course, a great play by Batosai, I gotta say. As soon as flash came up, went for the kill, found it. Chris getting pushed around. Level 6 for Richie Rich. Chris coming back into this one. Woo! Maxing E. That's some good damage.
Yeah. Talked about how Olaf has a pretty good matchup here early. Even though early level 6 hit from Richie Rich.
Ooh, overstays a little bit. Gets not quite stunned, but still has to run away from this one. Whew, close one. Flash used by Get Snuggled to get in range from Cocoon.
So Richie Rich, even though he did burn his flash and he put himself into a dangerous position by going that aggressive, he was rewarded with the jungler's summoners. So it was not, all bad for him.
Not all bad, but a recall now for Richie Rich pretty early on, actually, and a lane freeze by Chris. This is not the best thing now for Riven. You're going to see this Olaf catching up quite a bit, more minion kills, and going to be getting a lot more experience here.
He doesn't have, mana or HP sustain, though. So I think that he'll probably try and just clear that wave and not freeze it any longer and shove it out, because when Riven comes back with full HP and her cooldowns, then it'll be a bit troublesome for him. Looks like he's not, though. He's just sticking around.
Yeah, Chris is waiting. Okay. I believe the E only has a health cost, so it's less Undertows and Vicious Strikes, but you can at least trade decently. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah. Usually maxing the Undertows first for the range harass and the slows, but we'll see. He's going toe-to-toe here, and it's not hurting too bad. He was able to use Vicious Strikes to sustain his health back up at least.
Look at the damage. There's nothing here. Down to half HP. Even more. 150 health left. Forced to run away. Look at the combo damage. Holy.
Vayne extremely fragile, and going up against Lucian, he's got plenty of burst, and the early ganks were giving him the BF sword buy, so that's a lot of extra burst because he does get the double attack as well as the scaling for his abilities.
Well, back to the jungle these guys go. Get Snuggled, level 6, clears away his red buff. Already given blue to Microlatios. Pretty happy Orianna here. Yasuo, probably not given double buffs. I wouldn't expect blue to go to him. Doesn't have much reason for it. He's going to stay in the mid lane. And Zamfira has more or less held up in this lane. Nice little trade by Richie Rich. Damage actually, wow, half HP on Chris, and doesn't take a second E right there. So much better trade there.
Yeah, Richie Rich. You want to try and take advantage of the openings in Riven's cooldowns, but Chris just wasn't able to quite get there. Now if he sticks around this time, it would be another bait towards the Elise counter.
Uh-oh, trying to run Pop's ulti for a little bit more damage, and
so
he would move block farther.
Yeah, and whenever you use your repel early like that, you're stuck in the air for the 2 seconds because you have to have something to come down on. If there's nothing there, you can't just come down early in the same spot.
Oh, they're going to go for a fight right here. Richie Rich is really wanting to get rid of people there. Doesn't quite take spot things. Flash, Vault Breaker, Microlation's knocked around. Ult comes in as well. Do they have the damage? Good shotgun. Ziploc gonna go down. Zamfira, does he have the damage? He's gonna get traded out. Are you serious? Double kill for Microlation. 1v2 under his turret.
Oh my god. That is a problem, diving Orianna like that under the turret. All right, she's going to be a pretty vicious mid laner from now on.
Oh, man.
They committed everything for that. I think it was actually Vault Breaker and then flashing the last edge of it after, which is harder to do. But if you do that under turret, then you're very well putting your life at risk.
Man, very well played, though, by Microlation. Barrier coming in as well, just put everything he could to keep himself alive. Even went Catalyst, so he had more health than normal. The defensive build definitely paying off right here.
That is a...
We never see that.
Exactly. Early Rod of Ages. It's pretty much a Karthus thing. Haven't seen it on any of the mid laners.
Nope. But here it is. So we'll see how this pans out for these guys. Elise setting up a tent top lane.
Yeah, exactly. He's just camping up here. We talked about how easily the top lane was swayed last game. Pretty much the same situation here. Trying to make up for that early kill.
Richie Rich does dodge the undertones. Not going to get that reset for a while, but the health bar just dropping down. Gets snuggled. Finds a partner. Takes him down. 1-0-1. Ziploc trying to answer with a dragon, but he's spotted in the ward.
Yeah, and there's a full health duo lane coming in here. The Alistar Lucian, both level 6, whereas nothing here on Vayne is still 5 on... The dragon's going down anyway. They're committing hard to this.
They're going to get it. Nothing here. Half HP. Batosai comes in, pops an early ultimate. Ziploc gonna get over the wall. Cognitive just gets away, burns 2 ultis for it.
Really, really good resolve there by Cognitive to stay in the Dragon Pit and finish it. Able to get out with the rest of their lives because Vi can jump that back wall. And Chris hasn't been able to answer with the turret because it was at full life when he started. And it looks like the global gold for that exchange be in Cognitive's favor.
Alrighty. So let's see.
What you got? What you looking at here, huh?
900 gold apart. I'm trying to like get a read on the game because you had a bunch of kills, but the gold is pretty close. Largely because of the dragon right there. That was actually, I think, huge for Cognitive. And they've got like Riven who's holding up in lane, right? Doing a pretty good job there overall. These guys have both gotten kills in their respective lane opponents. Jungler's pretty equal. Mid laners, but aside from that double kill, right? Like holding pretty closely. But the overall gold like is close, which is crazy because there's so many kills on the mid and bottom lane of VVV White, but the gold is still close.
I didn't pay attention to when those gold items were purchased by each support, so it could be one of them was a lot later than the other.
I think Zane King's was very early. He doesn't have Sightstone.
Yeah, he's upgraded his first, so he's definitely got the jump there. They're getting a bit of more passive gold from him at least.
Batosai really trying to own that top lane brush. Uh-oh, nothing here so low. Great Lulu ulti. Gonna keep nothing here alive, but that was painful. That trade keeps coming in. Richie Rich fighting Chris under the turret. A lot of damage coming across to Olaf. Early Ninja Tabby and Shane Vest.
Again, get snuggled. Repeat ganks on top here. He's waiting. Chris is going super aggressive, trying to pull Richie Rich out into the lane so that they can get that gank from the side bush once again. Punish him. The only thing is now the flash is up for Riven.
And Chris went Flask later on in the game just to get more regen, knowing he's going to get traded on in the fights. But it's going to give them turret pressure, so VVV White in the top lane going to get the first turret kill of the game, putting their gold lead, there we go, a bit higher, 2,000 gold now. VVV White looking great.
Yeah, solid play right there because Dragon's already down. Cognitive can't take it twice already, so committing again to top to at least answer that. Good play, and we see the continued invasion here. That could definitely cost them.
Well, we got Trinket wards down there. Good vision control for VVV White. Still not going to start this one up. Now, smites are available on both sides. Who gets it? Zamfira got it with a Q. Not the worst thing in the world.
Well, it's not good. He doesn't have mana, and he does not benefit very much from cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
He's one of the few champions in the game that really does not benefit from cooldown reduction.
Not much. Jump in under nothing here. Trying to get away from this one. Half HP. Alistair ulti pop for attack damage there. Flash in. Oh, getting blocked. The culling not landing enough. Zion King saving his teammate's life. Slows him under the turret. Barely gets out of that one. Ziplock's smite was down during the dragon, so I think it was just like, someone pick it up, just secure it.
Yeah, they were just
not
trying,
ideal.
Exactly. They were just trying to get that blue buff. Throw everything you have at it at the same time. But yeah, so Yasuo, his Q scales with attack speed, not cooldown reduction, and then the dash doesn't have cooldown once you level it up enough.
Not really.
So
more win walls, man.
Yeah, more win walls. That's good, and more ultis.
Yeah, which already has like a really low cooldown.
Yeah, and you have to set up yourself.
Yeah. Okay, well, Petosa getting knocked around. Turret likely to go down. Frostlash just stays for it. The jump in. Nothing here is available for this fight. Can they take down Lucian? He's been left to die, and they're going to give the money to nothing here. 360 gold for that one. Maybe the start of something decent for Cognitive. They are behind 2,000 gold.
Get Snuggled doing some work pushing more turrets, though. Something that you definitely want to take advantage of when running a ranged jungler like Elise. Able to bully Yasuo off of his turret and get a lot of good damage on the mid.
Good stuff. The turret pressure working well for VVV White. 2 outer turrets already theirs. Only the middle turret left on that row. But COG pushing back on this bottom lane themselves after killing the AD carry, but they're going to pull a rotation. Turret's not going to go down yet, I don't think.
They are calling in Vi here for some backup because they're expecting VVV White to commit resources here since they're pushing up so hard. I'm interested to see what the plan is. That red ward that's in the side bush here did not actually see Vi come through try. So it will be a sneaky Vi, but there's 3-on-3.
Cocoon lands. That's a bit of a bait right here. 3v3. Great pulverize. Nothing here. Drops low. Elise onto the background. Let's see where these guys can go with this one. Snuggled gets away. Just low health bars.
Yeah, low health bar from Snuggled and also almost out of mana. So the extra aggression probably not going to continue here. Richie Rich does answer top turret, though.
He's going for a Hydra. First game, I think he went Bloodthirster.
Yeah, he did. He rushed it because he got a BF sword on his first back.
Yeah. Interesting, because I remember actually most Koreans as well go Bloodthirster over Hydra as well when they play Riven. Just what I've seen most of Riven's in competitive. So interesting to see a different build out here. It's going to give him some pretty good wave clear, and the Hydra's done now.
So Hydra, a little bit less scaling for your abilities and your auto attacks and your shield, but massive wave clear.
Yeah.
You just obliterate side waves. So he can become a strong split pusher, and he has so much mobility that he can get away from people.
Well, gets rid of the Spider Leash from Get Sniped. Look at the burst coming across. Flashes, picks it up. Richie Rich soloing the jungler. He gets a pink ward as well.
Yeah. Side benefit, you can just squish 5 spiders at once if you want to. Does so there, and in perfect time for the dragon. Hey, we just killed the jungler out of position. That's amazing timing.
And their wards.
A nice dragon. What a fortunate series of events for Cognitive Gaming.
And so Dragon down to half HP. Gonna get that one pretty quickly. No chance for a steal. Blue team picks up Dragon. 300 gold. Cognitive making their way back into this one, but the mid lane turret under pressure. No one's there to defend it.
Interested to see where Microlicious is going to go with this, because he's started out with the unorthodox Rod of Ages and now looks even to be building a Zanya's. So he's going pretty defensively with this Orianna. The high impact shockwaves probably won't be there for a very long time.
Yeah.
He's really just looking to Zanya's some Yasuo action here. Or he might leave it as the arm guard just for the extra armor. You know, it's a very efficient item by itself.
That's true. Here we go. Still no boots, by the way, as well. 180 minions, though, farming quite nicely. Maybe not quite Xiao numbers, but 184 in 17 minutes. Not a bad score. Certainly farming nicely.
Yeah. I would like him to complete that Zanya's, though, because it's one of the best tools against Vi Yasuo combo. If you Zanya's the Vi ulti, then that is never going to be an option for them. Unless she's, like, right next to you.
Yeah.
Then her travel time will be so short that she could get it off.
Be pretty hard to like block that one.
Yeah.
Pretty tough to do. We'll see if you can guess. And so Zamfira, right? Double buff earlier went to Microlicious. Double kill went there as well. Still keeping up in farm. Zamfira only down 20 minions. Sitting there in the mid lane, just killing killing minions, killing minions, killing minions, has static shiv. Gonna go for the Infinite Edge, I'm sure, next. Holding up despite kind of a rough lane. We'll see where this one goes next.
They have ridiculous AD threat here on the team, but not a lot of magic damage threat because this time around the Lulu is support. Not going to be bringing that. So I would expect Chris to just stack armor all day long, and he is going for an early Frozen Heart and Randuin's at the same time.
Yeah, I'm wondering where he goes with this one.
See which one he wants to complete first here.
Yeah. We'll see where this one goes. He needs another Warden's Mail in the end of the day, but
I like it because when you rush just Frozen Heart, then you are lacking the HP to really benefit from all that early armor. But he has gotten the Giant Spell part of it, so he might complete that Frozen Heart first. In that case, you're slowing everybody's attack speed, even if they're not attacking you.
Yeah,
whereas
I like that
Randuin's,
choice.
you have to be the one that's getting focused. So I do like this kind of split where he's got the HP to back up the armor, and he'll get the AoE attack speed still.
You got to imagine, that actually does a lot to Zamfira's Q, because attack speed scales the speed of the cast animation, the cooldown of it as well as his actual auto attacks, which he needs to be a good champion. So I definitely like that choice.
Yeah,
don't expect him to hit Olaf.
He has to be able to weave in his auto attacks with his abilities. And the cooldown of his Q is really important because he needs to be able to get off more knockups. So yeah.
Richie Rich going aggressively, knock up there as well to get started, and they find it! 1 kill picked up. Alistair cannot save the lives. Batosai getting chased around. Do they have the chase? Another Glitter Lance lands. Batosai has flash, does not yet go for it, gets hexed and double killed. Oh man, Cognitive.
I didn't even mention the third Broken Wings from Riven being something that can displace people for Yasuo ult. But they just use Lulu ult there for good measure as well and obliterate him.
And that's just ironic because those two don't get along in real life.
Lulu and Riven?
No, Riven and Yasuo.
Ah. Let's delve deeper into this lore, Freak, because I don't pay attention to a lot of lore. I'd like to get that backstory here. What you got?
So Yasuo, wait, hold on, Chris. He's got axes. He's getting hit right here. Tell you in a sec, Zion King not in a good spot. Ziploc shows up. Chris taking damage, not much, though. He's got a bunch of armor. The jump in now onto Frost Delicious. The chase is there. Shockwave whiffs. Nice move from Zamfira. Chris now running away, does go down. Vayne picks up a kill. Frost Delicious now in the backline is getting chased down. Richie Rich does go down, but a Windwall is going to block away Micro Lasers from doing anything. Another trade in the kills, and VVV White running away after a 1 for 2.
That's why I thought I was going to see a lot more of those Orion and Shockwaves set up by himself with his own attack, command attack, setting it up. Slow-moving Olaf there. Not actually be able to get anybody in the Shockwave because he was looking to book it and get out.
Yep.
Whereas you need someone to go in for the Shockwave to work.
So good jukes back by COG. The jump back in. They're trying to just save this turret. There's a lot of damage to nothing here. That Cocoon did not quite land. Woo! And they're going to just be able to hold themselves, keep the turret alive. Okay, so Yasuo.
It's lesson in lore time with Freak.
I forget who the person is, but he is suspected of murder.
A murder mystery.
And the body was killed by a...
Oh, look! Nothing here! He gets away free.
Safe. The body was discovered to be killed by a wind technique, and of course Yasuo is a wind samurai. In fact, he had to kill his own brother, who was a detective on the case, chased him down. So Yasuo was like, what the F? I didn't kill this guy. I had to kill my own brother because of this. This is messed up.
What? You just have to kill your own brother?
He couldn't convince him. He's like, well, who else would have killed this guy with wind? He's like, I don't know, dude, but it wasn't me. Different words, I assume, were used, but had to kill his own brother because of this. And then he goes across Riven, and he's like, wind.
You
and
framed me.
And remember, because Riven is, while she hates that she was like a jerk when she was Noxian, is Noxian in the past likely to be the culprit of someone who killed an Ionian, I want to say like Emperor or something. Someone high up in Ionia.
He doesn't have proof, though.
He doesn't, but he sees her and he's like, 3 strikes. I've seen this before.
Oh, man.
Man.
That is a hot murder mystery right there.
But they've set aside the differences for today because Cognitive Gaming wants to make it in the LCS. This quarterfinal is important. It's Game 3. 1,000 gold separates these teams.
Yeah.
Dragon's up.
And a dragon does. So they're putting themselves in the pit here. This is pretty dangerous. Vi, Vault Breaker down. Back off a little bit for 3 seconds.
Vi stands for wait a second and wait for Vault Breaker. Should be back up by now. It might stand for violence soon, but it doesn't yet.
Okay, so
VVV.
look at this. Vayne is actually cheating a little bit here, getting extra farm in the bottom lane. So this is small rewards for Cognitive for this standoff. Meanwhile, a top lane push for VVV White is a large amount of money that will be lost to the top turret. So pretty interesting trade-off here. I don't think the top turret is that low that it'll actually go down.
Bottom turret
will, though, because Vayne's giving it a little bit of help.
And VVV White now starting to hit this one. They know they can pull the rotations. This will come across in time. There we go. 2/3 health. Still the damage coming across. Will COG go in? It's going to be dropping soon. That thing here, nice multiple man knockup, and they're going to re-engage into the battle. Knockup, Microlations getting attacked right there. Takes out not much pain, though, overall. The battle has begun. The dive on in. One kill picked up. Ziploc goes down. A lot of low health bars. Chris getting chased. They're going to get one back on Bateau's side. Nothing here. Does escape. Gets Snuggle getting low, but he's going to make it out. Cognitive, 1-for-1 in the fight. Who's got control over Dragon? COG.
So, sort of.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's still 4 versus 4. I mean, the jungler is down for COG, so even if you control Dragon, don't start it. Don't do that, guys. No. I don't think they are going to go for it. But I would also no longer target Orianna with the Vi Yasuo combo because she has that defense build that we talked about and is not looking like she's going to be going down. You've already paid for both of you going all in on her under the turret and seeing how she can shockwave both of you right after. So definitely, I'd say pick another target, probably Frostalicious.
And good stuff by VVV White. They find themselves the Dragon here, so 1,500 gold still in the hole. But VVV White coming back into this game, they found a rough mid game for themselves. Now they get themselves back into it.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I thought it was going to go really bad for them, but they were still able to go 1-for-1. It did end up costing them the Dragon Global Gold because it was their jungler who was the one that bit the dust. But all in all, I'd say it didn't turn out too bad for them, you know, and they still have the gold lead, and I think that they've learned their lesson.
Hopefully. Cognitive did get an outer turret there in the bottom lane, so they've got their second kill.
Well, yeah,
killed the game. Yeah, the Vayne split a little while ago.
That top turret was already down.
No, I'm talking about COG on the other side. Okay, so 3 turrets to 2. VVV White doing well here. Bateau spotted out in the top lane. It's going to turn back around. Pings the wards. They know about that gank route for Richie Rich.
They don't know about this pink ward in the small bush, though. Oh. Everybody, you got to train yourself to walk through that thing. If you're going near it, might as well take a couple extra steps just to check, because everybody likes filling those things up with Easter eggs.
Doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Look for them anyway. Ziploc spamming the recall, why not? Get some color on the field. Here we go.
That's what I do on Neon Strike Vi instead of my taunt. Spam that thing.
Spam the recall instead. Locks you up for longer, though. You have like a quarter second where like if they jump you can't react yet.
So you know you can actually cancel your Vault Breaker also if you just press B. If you don't want to move at all. It's not like a super useful tool because it takes a while for you to get out of your B animation, but it looks way cooler that way.
It does. And it used to do the half cooldown, half mana refund as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it does that anymore. Piercing Arrow does if you just like keep going with it. I forget if it does it when you recall as well. 2 items done now for nothing here, though. 2, 1, and 2 on Vayne. Got out of the laning phase and actually a minion kill lead on his opponent. He was losing before, but as Ruin King Phantom Dancer now, he's scaling up. Frostalicious on Lucian. Bloodthirster's done. Trinity Force near. So these AD carries similar powers, but a bit more of a spike for nothing here. Something to keep in mind. Last Whisper done. That's important for Richie Rich. Of course, the opposing team is stacking armor. Frozen Heart is done. You called that one right. Randuin's is next. Chris definitely getting huge.
So Vayne going with the attack speed build here. I guess he's one of the Vaynes that maxes the True Shots first, or the Silver Bolts first. We've seen Double Lift very outspoken about his love of Bloodthirster first on Vayne because he maxes the Q first, the Tumble.
He does.
And that benefits way more from, you know, flat attack damage instead of that attack speed. But really, the Olaf here is a great counter to this Vayne build.
Yeah.
Since he's already got the Frozen Heart and the Randuin's is coming really quick, all he has to do is pop the Ghost and the Ragnarok and try and track down Vayne as she tumbles around invisible. Holy.
Yeah, and she doesn't have her Last Whisper yet. It's still about 1,000 gold away from that. So when Olaf does get on her, the only damage she's going to have is the Silver Bolts. Ruin King won't do much damage. Crits won't do much damage. There's a whole bunch of armor for Chris. And in fact, with all that attack speed slow, I feel like he will just straight up win that duel
Oh,
like,
he will.
convincingly.
It's just, you know, if the rest of COG collapse and try and peel for nothing here. I think they'll just try and avoid that situation until he can get Last Whisper.
Oh, there's the engage. Stun on a Richie Rich. Can they get the damage in? They're going to get some of it. Shockwave does not land. Flashed away, and a wind wall helps as well. A lot of spells burn. No one going down. But Richie Rich didn't even have to flash for that one.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a good Shockwave right there. But you're right, he didn't even have to... I thought Yasuo was in trouble, but nobody was.
No.
Good wind wall to...
So now no Shockwave, no Alistar. But Toza's been ulting early a lot.
Whoa, Chris coming in from the back here. Vayne not in the situation. 4 versus 5.
4 versus 5.
Nope, just kidding. 5 versus 5. Lucian's in the fountain. Look at that.
4 versus 4. All right.
Look at that face over there. All right.
Off on the side,
just
hiding.
kidding. Got a little excited.
He blended in. We see him. That red border's not fooling us anymore. He's got Trinity Force done.
We've locked onto him.
There he is. He's on the base.
Found that sucker.
Not fooling me anymore.
All right, first mystery down. Next step, finding out who killed the guy that Yasuo was accused of killing. Was it just some random person?
No, it
just a murder?
It had to have been like an official. I want to say it was like an emperor or something. Like I don't unfortunately remember. I just know it was someone important. Maybe a general.
He killed his brother over it. That's pretty intense. It's got to be like an emperor or something.
He didn't want to. He's pissed about it. He's in exile. Oh well. Poor Yasuo.
Man,
no one ever understands.
Yeah, I want to know the next chapter in that one. All right. Meanwhile, the next chapter of the mid lane siege. Still looking at this turret pretty hungrily for Cognitive, but as we said in Champion Select, they've got no range. This is a team about killing champions, not about killing buildings.
Nope.
And if they're going to be looking for a fight, they might want to start targeting the Dragon area, because currently they're the ones behind on warding around Dragon, and that would be the better situation to fight under.
Richie Rich looking for someone to snuggle with. Found the right kind of person. Trying to jump away. Third Q. Not going to go for it. Feels he might have overextended. Won't stay. I'm surprised. He actually stayed for that wave. I don't know he knew that they were turning back, but they're going to go for this fight anyways. Zamfira puts the wind wall down, gets it knocked up. Can he survive this one? Flashes away. The jump in, and they're going to find Frost Delicious. Forces him back. Microlacio's a bit low. Has Shockwave still available. Stun up there onto Richie Rich. He's going to keep fighting, get snuggled. Puts good damage down, but no ulti to get the kill secured. Nothing for nothing.
It was a good target choice there, though, by Ziploc. This time going for Frost Delicious and Micro. Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh, nothing here is not gonna like that one. Beautiful Shockwave, are you serious? 3 kills, make that 4 in a second. Ziploc trying to run away. 4 kills, wow, what an engage.
All right, defensive build, that's fine if you get those Shockwaves off, because that's gonna be a Baron for your team. 4 kills, that's it, complete swing. This is a huge comeback for VVV White. Got to tip off that Orianna.
All right, they're going to get a Baron. No way that's going to get stolen away. Let's watch this again.
All right, so culling to start this off. The flash in from Batosai, knocking nothing here really deep, and positioning himself as the... Oh, Shockwave! It cost him his life, but it was worth it.
Oh, super worth it.
Definitely
oh, man.
Worth it.
5-man Shockwaves are rare.
He both got the Vayne deep and positioned himself for that Shockwave.
Yeah. That's the Orianna gets the credit, or like generally speaking, we're like, oh man, Orianna, what a Shockwave. But the real hero, Batosai.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it over.
The real
Meanwhile,
hero.
I wanted to start out the beginning though, because Vi ultimate onto Frost Delicious while he's standing right next to Orion is perfect. Yasuo ultimate, you got about a 400 AoE when you go in there. You can knock out the people that are surrounding your target too, and he got both of them, which are the 2 targets you really want to get. But then, Batosai happened.
Yeah. Oof. So let's see what we got here. Blizzard buff, gonna go to nothing here. Now the funny thing is, that fight put the gold to equal, so the Baron was worth the roughly 2,000 gold lead you see right here from VVV White. The only difference being that they have a Baron buff on their people now. So there's a couple things that are kind of piquing my interest right now. So one is the Baron buff on the map, so of course they're more powerful right now. 2 is the fact that they only need to buy armor to survive Cognitive's damage output until Vayne goes nuclear. And right now she's like, only 3 items. I feel like the armor stacking has outscaled the AD comp so far.
Yeah, and the thing is, they've got so many attack speed slows here already. It's going to be hard, even with Vayne, you know, getting armor penetration. Hard for her to even kill the front line.
Oh, another turret goes down. Make that 4 for VVV White. What will they look for now? Top and bottom lane not yet pushing. They ping the second tier turret. They might just backdoor that with the 7 million armor Chris. He's level 15. To be correct, 330 armor. Wait for the team. Rotation's not here yet. This will be a turret.
That's going to be a dead turret pretty soon.
Okay, make that 5 now. They've picked up 2 tier 2 turrets off this Baron buff now. VVV White capitalizing so far off that team fight win with a lot of global gold. Almost 4,000 gold in the lead now.
And Orianna was rewarded. That shockwave gave her the death cap. So now the damage comes through. The early defense
side,
worked out.
2-man shockwave.
And
Stun's
the
gonna
cocoon!
land. Zamfira not in a good place. Puts the wind wall out. Does pop the ultimate. Goes down anyway. The jump into the back line. Can they kill Frostalicious? Misses the ulti from Riven actually. And look at the damage there. Frostalicious picking up the kill. 2 more grabbed. 3 dead for Cognitive. Only killing off Chris. So nothing here. Got to win that fight finally. But other guys at VVV White are huge.
Yeah, silver lining there. The 2-man ADN support were able to deal with Chris, but at the cost of the rest of the team.
And look at this base now starting to go down. Inhibitor turret getting backdoored because armor tanks can really easily kill off turrets and survive them. Inhibitor likely to fall right after, and VVV White, after a very, very rough game 1, won game 2, and they're looking great in game 3.
Yeah, they're looking like they definitely want to take this one home. Now it's up to a 6K gold lead, and they want to take the last outer turret here before they return home, making every little bit of this Baron buff time count.
There we go. Okay, 4 turrets. Pretty awesome. Nothing here. Still on the farm. Level 16. A lot of level 16s on his team. Poor Lulu, only 13, though, getting out-leveled pretty roughly. Something to keep your eyes on. Thornmail done for Chris, so even more coming through. Guardian Angel for Get Snuggled. Items are coming through pretty fast and furious for...
Are these Negatron cloaks all headed towards Banshees for Cognitive here?
I guess.
It's not like there's a super high impact long range spell that's going to be starting these things out. I mean, you could just fire off the culling and grab like 3 Banshees procs by yourself. I guess they want to avoid the Alistar initiate into the Shockwave.
Yeah.
If you can Banshees Veil the initial Alistar, then you should be able to walk out of the Shockwave. That sounds like maybe the direction they're going with it.
We'll see what they go for this one. But yeah, that's the one thing to keep in mind is Banshees can be broken by this VVV squad. It also puts relatively higher pressure on Frostalicious. You talked about him breaking Banshees Veil, but also when the team starts buying MR, the physical damage dealers are more important. With Chris going tank and having true damage anyway, it doesn't affect him very much. It's like Frostalicious who gets the lead here. He's doing all right. 3, 2, and 7. 3 completed items, but going towards GA now.
Yeah,
so he's actually
he is headed towards defense.
Stalling.
It could even be like a Randuin since their opponents are full AD.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good pickup on an AD carry as your only defense item if you're facing a team that's this AD heavy.
Yeah. I remember like in the beginning of Season 3, someone did the math on like buying Warmogs versus GA versus like Locket even.
Oh, okay.
Because it would give health and a shield. Now, not the case here. Chainvest not really going into Locket, but like there's like an analysis on like gold versus like total stat value. In the end, Guardian Angel, Banshees, some pretty good choices overall. Looks like it is going to be GA with the Negatron picked up. Cognitive, look for the mid lane. They are going to get this one. So 3 outer turrets now down. They get something off the Baron buff timing out. But they're 5,000 gold down now. COG have made some comebacks in this game. But VVV White, of course, making a lot of great moves themselves.
I mean, it just seems to be a very limited squad. We already talked about how they can't siege up turrets very well. But they also are all the same type of damage. So it's pretty easy to itemize against. Even though, hey, we've got this true damage from our Vayne, and hey, Yasuo gets his 50% penetration after his ult. We saw him right there. He got blasted before he could even get his ult off.
Yep.
So you can't rely on things like that.
We'll see. And it's weird because, like, yeah, Vi has Armor Shred.
I mean, Riven's got AoE Armor Shred now, so it's going to help, but
we'll see if it cuts through. My mind says no, but we'll see. Maybe they've passed that hump finally.
Yeah.
Spectre's
enough
Pals.
Last Whispers and enough Black Cleavers. Just chop through anything.
3 Whispers and a Cleaver. Maybe it'll be enough. We'll see. White completely in control. Bottom lane. Dragon goes down to them. Pretty high value Dragon right there. 7,000 gold now putting them ahead. That lead is growing. About 50% over their opponents. Red buff is respawn. That's likely to go to nothing here.
Ooh, Chris wants a piece. Oh, not able to grab it.
Okay.
Even though the smite was a bit early.
Yeah.
He had a chance.
But he bursted. I think his actually third W proc was up as well. So we got the percent max health, like probably 200 that proc is worth. I forget what the cap is against monsters on that champion. But Baron is up now.
Ooh.
Ward control first here to VVV White. They know they're in darkness.
They're waiting right around the tip here.
Good ward. Mikhail's also done for Zion King, so if someone gets cocooned, he can save him. The ward goes down, gets killed again. He's got a sight stone though, so all he's doing is feeding gold. Not losing vision that much.
Well, they eventually run out.
Yeah, he's only got at
You don't
most
want
5.
to keep on feeding those over. I guess you buy a couple seconds every time you do it.
Yeah.
Pick up blue trinkets, guys. Yeah, just do it.
Well, bottom lane has a big minion wave, and Cognitive Gaming now setting up over Baron. They've got themselves in a little bit, but they're not even fanning out. They're just retreating back.
Yeah, but look at the hard engage. It's going to come from Alistar, and Alistar's not on the front line right now.
Now he's looking towards the bottom. Actually, look at this. Frostalicious, good play here. Rotates to the mid lane. Has free reign over the inhibitor. This is going to force a rotation from Cognitive. They have to defend their base.
Well, they could just give up the exposed inhibitor and then try and fight on a turret, but they're going for the fight.
But Tosai goes in early. He's in the front line. Jump in the back line is Admiral. Ziploc, can they find the engage? They're going to get back there. Frostalicious getting low. Shockwave finds one. Ziploc back in the fight. Frostalicious goes down. 1 for 1. Can they keep going? Orianna double kill. Microlatios running around. Nothing here in the backside as well. Yasuo double kill gets back around the wind wall. This could be the fight that COG needs. Can they get away? Get snuggled to the front line. He gets stunned on the wall. Nothing here. Do you have the damage? One more proc forces the GA. This is going to be 2.5 deaths for just 2 so far. Slowed up. Picked up maybe. Not in range for the repel.
Oh.
Picked up right there. Yasuo triple kill.
Not quite in range of those wraiths, but I guess we found the answer to our question. 3 Last Whispers and a Black Cleaver, enough to cut through anything. They didn't end up taking Chris down, but they got the priority targets. It was the Yasuo finally ulting in onto Frostalicious at the end, taking out that attack damage source.
Well, Microlatios and Chris know about this. Knock up there, onto nothing here. Zamfira very low on health. He has GA, but he's losing his health bar pretty rapidly. And there's no jungler. This is so dangerous. Zion King forced to heal himself. Microlatios is around. This Baron still losing health, and COG forced to back off. GA popped by Zamfira.
Now Baron's turning on Orianna, though.
It's low. Like,
it's super low. They don't have smite, though.
They're just too afraid of it getting bursted. Ziploc's back alive, but he's not in range. He bought home guard, but can't get here.
Oh, he's still playing with fire.
COG, just stop it. Zamfira loses the shield, does proc on monsters.
They're going back. There's still a ward in there. Their smite has arrived.
Well, they've got Ziploc. They popped the wind wall as well, but here comes VVV White. This is so dangerous. Chris in the front line. Shockwave is available. This is so dangerous. Nothing here. Can you get away from this one? Shut down on Orianna. That was massive. Now, can they keep going? Smited. Baron picked up by Cognitive. Chris in the back line has nowhere to go. He gets picked up. But Tosai there, Richard still on the chase. Can he find Mike? Oh my god, the damage on a Frostalicious. Has a GA, stuns from Get Snuggled, but he's got to random to try to run away from this one. Nothing here, finds the kill onto Batosai. Massive pickup, 3 kills, and Baron for Cognitive.
That was beautiful. Richie Rich kills Orianna on his way into Baron to help off Ziploc get it, and they get both of them also winning the team fight. This looks like they might actually be able to end something because they don't have to siege. They could just go straight up to the turrets and chop them down as well.
25 seconds on this respawn for the first guy who's dead. Get Snuggled caught out here, has nowhere to go, does not have flash.
Oh.
Jumped on, knocked up, Get Snuggled goes down. 5v1 on the map right now. Can Frostalicious hold his base alive?
The Riven Yasuo combo right there. Unexpected, and they're going to get the inhibitor off of this. And the death timers, they still have 10 seconds on Chris and 13 on Batosai.
They backed off. I'm
Don't wanna
surprised they
push
didn't
it.
go for Nexus turret there.
I think that they might have been able to get more kills if they pressured up at the Nexus turret. But you're right, pulling back off of this one. They don't have a lot of cooldowns left. And there were super minions in the base that Nothing Hero was having to deal with.
Okay.
So they recall.
We can take a breath. The gold equal. 67,000 apiece. Both teams have lost an inhibitor, although the mid lane for COG will respawn soon. Chris continuing to scale up, going for Warmogs next. Maybe a mallet to stick to his targets.
Probably go with the Warmags. It would help out since he's got the Thorn Mail.
Yeah.
If he can take more damage, that means the enemies that are attacking him are going to take more as well. So yeah, I think boosting that life would help out. We've seen though that there's a lot of, I guess, the armor penetration, you know, from Vi, from Yasuo, and true damage from Bane is working out. They've got plenty of armor shred here. The armor stacking has sort of passed its peak. at the mid game, before all that armor shred comes in, they do have the advantage. But we didn't mention how the COG team were able to itemize for more Banshee's Veils and more magic resist because they're just killing the AD source on the enemy team. If they take out Frostalicious early with the combo with Vi and Yasuo, then it's fine itemizing pretty heavily towards your magic resistance.
Yeah, 2 Banshees done. The only guy who's actually really going for armor is the Vi who's diving, that guy anyway. And actually, Richie Rich on Riven is doing the same. So the damage dealers, the backliners, are itemizing MR because they're afraid of Microlatios. The frontliners who are diving are saying, yeah, Frostalicious is going to be the guy who's killing us. They're tailoring their builds to their in-battle opponents. I find that very interesting. I like it. I think it's a smart choice.
And Zane King getting a random ones for himself.
Yep. He's just afraid.
Yeah, and the slow he can add once Chris's Ragnarok runs out.
Well, turret's going to go down. These guys capitalizing on their Baron buff. 6 turrets going down. COG equalizing that score nearly. They've got 1 more turret to go until they make that score nice and trued up. The Dragon has respawned, and looks like that's been pinged out. COG wants that for some more gold lead. They're only up 1,000 so far. That'll be closer to 2,500 when this goes down.
So now that the armor stacking isn't enough, they switched over to GAs. It's not a War Mags that comes in for Chris. He picks up a GA for himself, and Frostalicious already had one.
Yeah.
The cooldown's about back up for it, though. So they will have the proc for both of those, while Yasuo's is not going to be available for the very next team fight.
And Microlatious is out of things to buy. He's at 6 full items right now. I guess he hasn't upgraded Trinket yet, but he got the double kill early on, had a dominant lane, 7, 1, and 6. Not going to scale anymore. Gold on him is not going to go anywhere. He's peaked. Same thing here for Zemfira in the mid lane. He's done getting items. So those guys are equaled out. There's less room to grow for these guys now.
Now, when you're an AD and you max out, you sell your boots and you get a Zephyr.
Yeah.
When you're an AP, you
could. Lichbane
could, but the movement speed, you really like that. And Lichbane, it doesn't give nearly as much as Zephyr, so I kind of like selling the Morella Nomicon instead of selling the boots. What do you think?
I feel like he wants the CDR though, because that was a late edition item.
Yeah.
And like, I'm trying to think, because I feel like Morella Nomicon is just so good. You get extra dissonance, you get another shield out there in a fight. I actually wouldn't ditch that, because he's going to have 35 CDR just without blue buff if he gets blue elixirs, which he does. And you don't want to drop from 35 to 15. That's really harsh.
Yeah, once you're that close to maxed out, you don't want to drop.
One thing I actually would consider, although there is some lifesteal it's worth cutting through with Morella Nomicon, is, interestingly enough, Banner of Command, same CDR, 5 more AP. You lose the unique passive of like the health cutting and the mana regen, but you have the aura passive and you have promote on a 3-minute cooldown. Like, it's actually really good in stats. It costs the same amount of gold.
Yeah, I do like that for the end game for pushing side lane by promoting a side lane minion and then pushing the other side. But the lifesteal that you mentioned, I think, is a pretty big factor in the end game here, since there's so much on all of these attack damage champions. Now that I think about it, the Morella Nomicon is doing a lot of work, since Riven, with the AoE lifesteal especially, is getting a lot of benefit out of it.
Yeah, I think so. Riven looking for a Randuin's Omen here, so actually not even itemized to survive Microlatios basically at all. Kind of scared if he has to fight against this guy, but cares much more about Frostalicious here.
Just dodge the ball.
If you can.
If you can dodge a ball, then you don't have to buy magic resistance.
There you go. That's how it works in this game. If he was fighting Heimer, dodging wrenches wouldn't even be possible. Jax could do it. That's it. Top lane now getting sieged. Baron buff timed out here, so COG mostly on equal footing. Only 1,500 gold separating these two teams. Inhibitors all back up now as well. We're equal footing on the map. Barons in 45 seconds. This game ridiculously tense for these guys. COG owns the map a little bit, but you know the fights are going to be close.
Well, they're pretty confident in their control over this red side jungle. So I think that they'll be able to just rush down the Baron as soon as it spawns, since they have so much damage on their team and there's a pink ward already in there prepped. If they're able to shove in the lanes, at least even to that turret, they could very easily burn it down quickly. 3 GAs, though, worked up here. All of them are ready to roll.
There we go. Yeah, they've actually waited out the time. The GAs... 3 on one side, 1 on the other. Another one going to be looked at for Admiral Ziplock there. He's itemizing towards it. Mid lane, they might look for the push. Will he ult in? Will he go for anything? Chris going to fence them away. 5v5 in the mid lane. VVV White looking a little bit more for flanks here. Cognitive, I find it's strange, but the team with the Riven is actually not the one trying to flank. I feel like you normally don't go head first for this comp, but in this case they want it for the Vi Yasuo engage and the Riven follow up.
Well, Alistar always likes to go head first.
Yeah.
So he was the one on the side. I think he was trying to kill the pink ward, but because COG were moving up, he had to run away from the pink ward, abandon his task, and try to join the rest of his team. He really wants vision control of Baron.
Yeah. Both supports forced to loop around the sides. 3 GAs, you see them on your screen right here. Chris looking for his opening. They know Shockwave is scary, but with Banshee's Veils out there, Spiderling gets the Banshee Veil off of Ziploc. Elise is one of the big Banshee's Veil removers right now, actually.
Wow, we are at that very exciting late game phase.
They're
where
looking for it.
What matters is the CC.
Can't even break the shields on Chris. A combo from Ziploc, not doing much there. Slows come across.
So the denting blows has to land for them to get that armor penetration at the beginning on Chris, or else he does not take damage, as you can see.
Yep.
It's going to have to be denting blows or Yasuo ultimate to come in. Before that, Chris is a god.
He's pretty safe so far. Cognitive now around Baron. I don't think they can really rush this down. Batosai is around Ziploc there in a brush. They've actually hit Baron. Now Baron does break Banshee's Veil with his basic attack. They've got to be careful about this one.
That's why, you know, Ziploc and nothing here. Stand as far away as they can.
Uh-oh. There's the Talisman of Ascension pop. They're trying to go in.
Team is split,
forced
though.
to run away, but they're going to regroup down here below blue buff. No catch here for VVV White. Ascension popped. It's going to come up first for Zion King. It's up in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, VVV White popping their Ascension, and they actually split. AD carry ran backwards, while Alistar ran forwards. Maybe some miscommunication. And that is really bad at this stage in the game, where the team fight is all that matters.
Big wave bottom lane. Not going to do much to the turret, I don't think. It would have regen to full health at this point if it was even hurt before. So he's going to crashing on the waves
Wow,
down
look at that
there.
giant blood wave down bottom, though.
They're going in. Ziploc, can he find the ulti? Goes in, finds Frostlish. They get the engage. Shockwave's going to land. Pulls in Zamfira. The fight has begun. Richie Rich on the front line. Chris tanking. Zamfira's going to get popped as GA. This is a 5v4 kind of. Chris forced to run away. One hit from dead. He's going to make it out. Zamfira flashes the wall. Richie Rich forced to run away. Nothing here. Dangerously low. Healed up. Using the abilities as he can to stay alive. Knock up again from Yasuo. Everyone disengaging.
You gotta be kidding me here.
No one even died.
You gotta be kidding me. Nobody dies in that, so pretty much all the action was the bottom creep wave. Ziploc with a short charge Vault Breaker just for the extra distance.
Didn't want to get headbutt pulverized. It would have killed him. Bottom lane still getting hit around. Richie Rich low on health, and this actually gives Baron control over to VVV White.
Oh, the giant blob of minions. They're actually ignoring it and trying to rush towards that Baron. They do have ward coverage.
Well, home guards are there for Richie Rich. Has a Randuin's going to run up there as fast as he can, but the damage is coming through. Gets snuggled. Going to repel into this fight. Baron low on health. The team charging in. Chris on the front lines. Half HP on Baron. I don't know if they can get there on time. Chris still in the front line fighting everybody there. Pops ulti, runs away. Ziploc goes in. He gets it! Are you serious? Admiral Ziploc, the second Baron of the game for his team. Wow. Wow.
Well,
he earned that one.
Well, Admiral Ziploc earned that one for the team. That's going to give them the confidence they need to get top inhibitor, middle turret, middle inhibitor turret.
Look at that blob of minions on the top side. There has to be cleaned out. Cognitive just backdooring these turrets. Batosai goes on in, snuggled. Flash stuns a minion. Not going to find anything here. Easy back off. Top inhibitor died. 2 minions on the top side. Cognitive still looking to siege with Baron buff.
All right, who's going to be point man for the dive here? Let's see. Vi, probably. They need to get another ulti onto Frostalicious. What happened in the last fight is Vi ulti deep on Frostalicious, but he used his dash and his flash to get under the turret. And by the time that Vi and Yasuo got to him, Orianna was there with the shockwave, and they were able to defend Frostalicious, but only because they were under turret.
Okay.
Okay.
Dragon goes down. Baron buff taken away. Top inhibitor is dead. This is, I believe, the first minion wave right there on your screen. Passing the white camp, that is the first super minion wave that is spawned for this top lane there for Cognitive. So that's going to be the beginning of the pressure here. The team has got Dragon. They've recalled Captain's Boots. Picked up for Zion King. I don't see those enough, but I like that item a lot. I like it.
Captain Boots also on Admiral Ziploc. He's an Admiral and a Captain now. So they have 2 sets of Captain Boots.
I think it's home guard.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the white outline.
Oh, I'm blind.
That would have been great, though. I like
blind.
the idea, though.
Dang it.
He gets them for free.
I wanted 2 captains.
Well, they are the captain's
All right,
boots.
so they've got the captain and they've got the admiral.
They just have so much military here.
Man, this game is the really fun point where you get to. Everybody's got the full builds. We have the Zephyrs coming in for both Yasuo and Vayne. Boots are thrown out the window. Everybody's running around barefoot with plenty of swords, so it's very dangerous.
Man. Well, how do you hold all those swords? They've each got, what, like 4 swords and a bow? Actually, no, Vayne has like 6 swords. Phantom Dancer's 2 of them.
That's why they sell their boots. They got some on their feet. They go monkey style.
All right. Let's see. Yeah. 5 swords for Vayne, 4 swords for Yasuo, bow for each, Banshee's Veil, and a Guardian Angel. Different accessories for these guys. One's got wings, one's got a necklace.
All right, so
Bottom lane.
Frostalicious, is his GA up right now? I think it did not go down in the last fight. They were able to keep it up. Because that's going to mean that the dive... Yeah, it is up. Oh, God. So that dive is going to be really hard. But the Baron buff might give them confidence to do it. This time around, Zamfira cannot rely on his Guardian Angel since he used it in the last turret dive going after Frostalicious. So that combo is going to be very dangerous. I don't think they're going to be able to take him down, and they might just have to wait out. Once again, this could be a very long game. We're already at 55 minutes, but going for that turret dive is still a dangerous possibility since the Guardian Angel is still alive on Frostalicious.
Well, keep in mind, you mentioned the game length. VVV White's games to get here were 55+ minutes long. Like, this is normal for them. I feel like the team and they won both those games. So you figure coming in here, they're used to the situation. They're going to know how to act.
It's going to come to a head really soon here because both of these mid and bottom turrets are pretty flimsy at this point. With so much attack damage on COG, it only takes a couple hits to take one of these down.
So the Vayne split push on the bottom has the Banshee's Veil. Bottom lane, damage coming through, but this turret pretty much untouched. It's just one false move and everything goes sour. Top lane now has super units flooding in. This is going to require some kind of response from VVV White, and the question is, can COG do something with that lopsided advantage? They turn back for a blue buff steal. They get that one, but they've let Frostalicious take away that top lane wave without any penalty. Richie Rich poked out.
Wow. You saw what it means to not build magic resist and not dodge the ball right there.
Hurts.
Half your life. Just from the attack and dissonance.
And I assume she's shielded too, and it just didn't even matter.
So Richie Rich is going to have to dodge those balls in the next team fight.
Wow. And COG going to force a recall here. So they don't get anything from that Baron buff. The top lane inhibitor died to minions in itself. The 4 minutes of Baron, nothing accomplished except for a dragon. Money's going to start mattering less and less. This 4,000 gold lead, you can mostly forget about it. I say not completely because there's still a full item left for Chris, a full item left for Richie Rich, half an item for both the junglers, and very minor upgrades left for the supports. You've got basically 1.5 items left to go.
Yeah, at this point, when everybody gets a full 6-item build, they don't have room for wards. So the trinket choices become that much more important. I would start selling off the sweepers and go for either trinket wards or blue wards at this point and upgrade your trinket ward into the pink version.
Yeah, denying vision meaning a whole lot. And the funny thing is, though, like, I wouldn't even bother contesting Dragon because the gold doesn't go anywhere. It's only really Baron that matters. And yeah, then
just
in that
for
case,
the buff.
Yeah, it's the only thing that matters at this point. Everyone's going to be level 18. Except for Batosai, 17.
Look at those double elixirs on 3 members, too.
Yeah.
The purple shine coming through.
And nothing here lost his Banshee's Veil. So did Zamfira. So there's no Banshee protecting the engages. Ziploc taking some damage here. He's got to be careful of this one.
Oh, they go on
Frostalicious. They're going to go in. They find Frostalicious. He's got GA. The shotgun's going to land, but the GA going to get popped very quickly, and the fight has begun. Richie Rich going for the back line. Can they find the kills? Chris forced to pop down. Riven into the back lines. Can they find the AD carry? They do. 1 kill so far. Gets snuggled, force the GA. Chris in the back lines going down quickly. Nothing here. Not even getting touched. And Zamfira not going down either. 3 for nothing. The fight continues. Everyone is going down. Cognitive Gaming taking out VVV White's entire lineup.
They made the combo happen outside of the turret. It was okay to pull off. As soon as Vi goes in, Zamfira combos his ulti, and even though the shockwave is there for both of them, they get their target down. Mission accomplished. No attack damage left coming, and Cognitive clean up the fight.
There was no damage left over after the Shockwave Frost was already forced into his GA, and here comes the game-winning push. 58.5 minutes in, Cognitive crush game 1, get dunked in game 2, and pull back a difficult game 3 to force them through into the quarterfinals. 2-1, celebratory touchdown there by Richie Rich, and man.
So, Cognitive showing us, wow, that was a cool endgame Yasuo song. Cognitive showing us how you pull off a set of champions that are all short-ranged, so they're bad at sieging, and they're all attack damage.
Yeah.
You play it strong early game, get the objectives, but then you have to wait out through the period where armor's too much until you get all of your armor-penetrating items. And you have to have champions that have their own armor penetration.
Yeah.
Like Vi and Yasuo.
Yep.
And Vayne with her true damage.
And then you've got to withstand
you just wait all the way
Orianna.
till the hour-long game, get GAs on everybody, and then you go into just God mode and destroy the enemy damage.
Yep.
Interesting.
And it worked out.
Very interesting. It's a
Lucian
long game
didn't get
plan,
to play.
but
He got killed. It worked. It worked. It was impressive.